Occurred, the 2nd of April 2002 o'clock location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, triangle. Duration, 2 minutes. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. There were electrical or magnetic effects. UFO chased me. I saw a triangular-shaped UFO in Mars Hill at 2 a.m. It was hovering at treetop level over a stop sign. I stopped my car when I realized what I was looking at. The UFO seemed to be moving away from me, and it stopped also. At this point I panicked. I threw my car into reverse and started backwards, flooring it. The UFO starts backwards, accelerating faster than my car. I flipped off my headlights, hoping they wouldn't see me. The car engine then dies when the UFO gets within maybe 20 to 30 feet in front of me, still coming at me. I put my car in park and realized I was the only person out on the road and I was about to get abducted. So I knew I had to wake people up, not so much to witness the UFO but to stop the aliens from abducting me. I jumped out of my car and started running down the road away from the UFO, screaming the entire time. Luckily, some people in a nearby house heard my screams and ran outside. The UFO had drifted over behind a tree so they couldn't see it, but they did see its lights. Then the lights blinked out and it was gone. I got back in my car and it started right up and I drove home.
Occurred, June 30, 2000 location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, characteristics: this is a possible UFO abduction case. Missing time was experienced. I think I was abducted when I was 11 years old in another incident. A moving star flashed a giant camera-looking flash. The flash lasted about 3 seconds. When I was 11, a disc-shaped object with lights, evenly spaced lights on the sides, slowly right above me. It had to be 200 to 300 feet above me and just hovered over me. After what seemed like forever, I finally watched it slowly zigzag away. This was on a summer night in the year 2000. NUFORC note: witness indicates that the date is approximate. Witness does not indicate a city or state for the alleged event, so we have entered his current residence location as the location of the sighting.
Occurred, the 1st of July 2003 o'clock location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, triangle. Duration, greater than 1 minute. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. The object landed triangular UFO, with protruding windows, over a field in Indiana. One thing I used to love doing was taking drives at night. One evening back in 2000, I decided to go for a drive. It was about 3 a.m. Everything was fine. It was a nice night out and I had the windows down on my car. I decided it was time to head home, so I turned down 25th Street, just off of German Church Road. I passed over a small bridge when I saw a triangular-shaped object hovering over a small field. From the car I could tell there were 3 dome-shaped windows on 2 sides of the object and another one off the bottom of the craft. Lights were on inside. There was a small farmhouse between me and the UFO, so I decided to go just past the house to get a better look. When I got to where I should have been able to see it better, it was gone. I didn't see it leave. I didn't see it disappear, it was just gone. I spent the next minute or two looking around for it, but it was nowhere to be found. A few days, maybe weeks, later, as I was watching TV, there was a show, Unsolved Mysteries, that was doing an episode on UFOs. During this telecast I saw, for the first time, mention of the same craft as I had seen just days before. It was then that I knew it was real.
Occurred, the 4th of August 2020. Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, flash. Duration, 3 seconds. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. I can't remember the exact date, but at about 20:30 I was driving through my neighborhood on the way home from work when I noticed something unusual. I happened to look up when an apparently large object seemed to hover overhead. It looked like a strobe light on an airplane in much larger proportion. It only lasted about 2 to 3 seconds.
Occurred, the 9th of November 2023. 17 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, sphere. Duration, 3 to 4 minutes. Object meandered like a leaf in a stream. Object first noticed between Polestar and 3-star triangle SE of Polestar. At first thought it to be a planet, but realized it to be too far off the plane of the ecliptic. Object had a constant yellow-orange appearance. No whirling or color changes. I next thought it to be a stationary star till I realized it was moving too fast for an aircraft relative to other stars. 2 observations. 1. It was moving in a southeast direction from the point of first notice. 2. It seemed to meander like a leaf floating along in a small stream that is affected by eddies.
Occurred, the 11th of November 2019. 32 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, other. Duration, 2 minutes. Characteristics: there were lights on the object, there was an aura or haze around the object changed color. Huge star-like objects swooped toward Earth at a fast pace. They were like huge stars, came in view closely then retreated, then came at an alarming rate directly at me at a 45-degree angle and swooped back into the air and disappeared in a matter of seconds.
Occurred, the 8th of September 2001. 17:30 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, oval. Duration, 2 minutes. Characteristics: the object left a trail. There was an aura or haze around the object. I have a real picture of a UFO. I was standing in front of my glass sliding door looking at the sunset when I saw a metallic oval object darting back and forth in the sky. I ran to my computer room and grabbed my digital camera in hope that I could catch it on film, so I could analyze it later. I ran back into the kitchen and continued to look for the oval object. Beyond my belief, it was still there. I took a picture of it and that's when it dashed away. I didn't hear any sounds nor did I see any other objects. Afterward, I went to my computer and downloaded the photograph that I had just taken. There it was, plain as day. A real, live UFO. I still have the picture and would love to send it to whomever would like to have a copy.
Occurred, the 4th of October 2002. 22:20 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, triangle. Duration, 30 seconds. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. Boomerang-shaped object heading east to west. Transparent glow almost like metal starting to glow from heat, orange and light green in color. Second time seen. First time was in summer of '01 while observing stars with telescope. Craft seemed to be flying at high altitude and high rate of speed. Made no noise and no contrails. I live by the airport and never seen anything like this before.
Occurred, the 10th of May 2002. 2200 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, fireball. Duration, 5 seconds. Characteristics: there were lights on the object. There was an aura or haze around the object. There were aircraft in the vicinity or aircraft chasing the object. We saw a strange orange fireball 4 times across the night sky. We were outside at about 10 p.m. We saw a strange orange fireball fly away from us. It seemed too big to be anything like a meteor and it was flying away from us. It then disappeared suddenly. We shook it off, but then we heard neighbors talking about how the planets are aligned. We became a little interested. We then continued walking around and saw another one exactly the same, fly by across the sky at about 1 a.m. Later at 2 o'clock we saw the same thing. At about 4 a.m. we saw it fly across the sky again and suddenly vanish. We live near an airport, but there is no way this was anything I have seen before. We also heard, and saw, large, military maybe, jets flying around. We did some research and found no explanation for what this was.
Occurred, July 15, 2002. 2100 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, circle. Duration, 5 minute. Characteristics: there was an aura or haze around the object. The object made a sound. There were electrical or magnetic effects after a bright light and a humming sound. My car radio shut off and doesn't work anymore at 9 p.m. After coming home for work, my brother and I saw a bright light over the treetops. We thought it was fireworks at first. It was definitely not fireworks. It moved very fast and darted in different directions. A second craft came into the same field of vision within a few minutes. Both crafts stopped and were within close proximity to each other. The two crafts then moved closer to our vehicle where we could see them much clearer. They were white, and though I heard a humming coming from the craft, the lights went off and the radio quit playing. I don't remember if the car shut off. There was a bright light and it took a long time for my eyes to readjust. My car radio does not work anymore, and my brother refuses to discuss the event with me.